I'm going to talk about the journey of a reporter. So, some time back at this funeral of all places, I met this guy, one of those PR related fella. He works in a PR firm and then he became a trainer or some sort, one of those like motivational trainer, team building or whatever. He told me, I went to train people at this newspaper. They are very lowly paid, no? They say, why you train them? He didn't divulge any information. So I put two and two together. This guy probably participated in some team building, motivational thing, because he is not a journalist to begin with. And he just went on like, lowly paid, you guys are, getting the raw end of the steak and all that, blah, blah, blah. So, when you join the newspaper, the first thing they do, they throw you into the deep end. Okay, you do reporting. So, you do hard news, you do soft news. You go for an event, you come back, you write a story, you report what happened. Okay? Where, why, how, what, and who. So you put it together, cook up a story. So the best way to tell it is to tell it as it is. Okay, no need to waste time and all that. Write the whole story like some drama or what. If that thing happened, make it short and sweet. State the facts. What happened, how it happened, where, why if possible, and who. Okay, you sum it all up, that becomes the tomorrow's news. So a lot of this, right, is a process factor, very progressive. Takes about probably 1 to 3 years for someone in the job to be proficient. Gradually, these guys earn their place in the organization. They become a senior person. So you have minimum 5 years of experience in the business, doors open. Some fellas, they progress, they become a writer. So they go on to become feature writers. If they take fancy in other sections in the paper, they move on to become entertainment reporters. They too can get a gig as an economic writer or in the sports desk. So very few move up. So they take the mantle of leadership. So from a reporter, you become a specialist writer. Then you enter the world where there's a real gray area, executive. Okay, neither here nor there, because management is for all the bosses. So what do you get? Okay, assistant editor. Then you move to deputy editor. So if the powers that be, really fancy you, you're a very efficient guy. You get the job done. You got good leadership skills. The editor title is just in the offing. Traditionally, it takes about 10 years, maybe more. But when the pond, is dry, there's no more fish. You got to bring in from other places. You bring this fish, you put back into the pond, put water. So a lot of these positions, right, because of there's not enough manpower, takes years to train, so they take outsiders. Say for example, somebody work in a magazine. So okay, what kind of magazine? How many copies do you sell? They take them in. So to entice them, they got higher pay. They come in at a higher pay at a position, those below them will have to wait. So that's where the problems start, all this feeling of discontent. So I cite one case, there was this lady, she was brought in doing sub-editing. Background a bit shady, work for magazine or what, very ambitious as well. So apart from the job that she gets, her daily routine, she take on a part-time job writing supplement. So there was this supplement, for the king, okay, the young Di Pertuan Agong. Back then he was the Sultan of Kelantan. This Sultan Muhammad V. But at that time, his father, okay, Sultan Ismail Petra, was still alive. Although he is like, health was in decline, but he was still alive. So throughout this supplement, there was a biography about Muhammad V or Faris Petra. The whole thing went like, pages after pages and all that. So this smart ass sub-editor look at the person's designation and name. She put there His Royal Highness Muhammad V Ibni Almarhum Sultan Ismail Petra. But mind you, Ismail Petra was still alive. You technically kill the guy off by putting Ibni Almarhum, because Almarhum means the late. So this went unchecked and it was published. The moment the paper hit the street, shit hits the fan, okay? There was this explosion on the 5th floor during the meeting. People get screamed at, yelled at, why you never check, double check. The word Ibni Almarhum was maintained throughout the entire supplement. Okay, massive embarrassment. The big boss have to go and menghadap, go to the istana to explain everything. The smart ass who did the Control F, that means fine, right? Control paste, Control V, paste, fine, cut and paste, was suspended. Okay, not indefinitely, but I think suspended without pay. So that's how they punish and banish people. Suspended without pay and all that. So I think this woman totally demoralized, lost it. My point in case is that got no experience, no grounding, never done any reporting, never fact check everything, just I think that's how it should be, just ran it without realizing the backlash. So ultimately, right, the suspension was lifted, but the person also found another job. But the way I look at it, based on that mistake, even though it's an honest mistake, you'll never find a job anywhere else mainstream. Maybe portal or what, you can just change your name, change your looks, go under a guise of another person. But that stigma, will stick on you, right? Like the shit that won't flush, when you hit the toilet. So grounding is very important. So like all these things, the journey, if you don't have proper grounding, don't have the proper training, nobody tell you what to do, you end up under the bus. So this is apparent. Another case that I would like to say, we had this other guy. At the time, my job, also a cold storage job. I had to download press releases. Sometimes I look at the email, I see these press releases. They are kind of like, okay, this is interesting. This one goes where, So I forward this to one of the section who covers the southern region. So the sub fetch the press release, never clear the copy. The person who's supposed to clear the copy never did his job. By the way, he's one of the boss's good friends, never did his job. The thing was published verbatim, okay? A press release, with some note and highlight. I think the guy sent a note to say, it's like a conversation thing. So that thing was published. Shit hits the fan again. So here's what happened. The lady boss I work under pinned the blame on me. Oh, you should clear every press release then send to them. So I said, that's not my fucking job. If I do that, I'll never finish. The work will never end. That's your job. Bank table, everything. So the guy who fucked it up got away scot-free. So the sub-editor who did it, zero experience, got no not even alert, you know, got no sense or even oversight to see that, you know. He was apologetic. Oh, I'm sorry. I say it's too late. You know, sorry cannot save anything. You already made a mistake. So again, you know, grounding is very important. If you don't have what it takes, the proper training, then you're very vulnerable. So there you go, man. Right? A reporter's journey.